Good afternoon, everyone. This is the first episode. We're going to take a wee look back on match day one of our Football Index Fantasy Football Challenge strategy, however you want to look at it. Okay, now, I want to first of all start off by saying the day I decided to do this, it was, pardon me, started my research for the team late Friday night and it spilled into the Saturday morning through to like 2 a.m. or something ridiculous like this. I just couldn't sleep, and I'm one of these people, once I get on a roll with something, I'm digging through things, whether it be work or something like this, I just don't stop until my mind is totally satisfied I've done everything that I wanted to or I could. So I was really happy with the team as I put it together, and on the match day I'll kind of talk you through how we did and who did what and whatever. But it was probably the worst day of the week to do it, you know. Ideally you want to be setting up for a match day in anticipation of a match day as one has just left us behind, so you can catch people after they've been dumped and they drop down in price or whatever. So we're kind of starting behind the 8 ball a little bit with this squad in terms of the prices we picked them up, just the way that some of them have moved really off the back of the match day. Okay, so I'll walk you through how we're doing. I did the maths on it and everything as well, and with some of them moving in price upwards, some of them moving down, and then we captured some dividends, we are sitting minus 36 pence at the moment as it sits now, which, you know, it's not the end of the world really. My fantasy football team here equates to roughly about 10% of my portfolio. So it's not going to be something that's going to make me rich, and it's not something that's going to kill my portfolio either. It's just something that I'm trying out. Like I said, using the building videos that we did and the kind of guiding principles video. So once we iron out the creases and we get a good rhythm of, oh, this worked really well and I like this, and maybe we could do with more defenders or more midfielders or, you know, something like that, just to try and make it as profitable as possible. Okay, so this is me kind of learning on the job with you guys in terms of how best to work a strategy like this to maximise IPDs. Okay, if you wanted to go and commit a bigger percentage of your portfolio towards something like this, then that's down to you guys. If you feel more confident that you could pull a turn out of it, then brilliant, go for it. But I wouldn't really advise more than 10% at this stage of the season, because as I'm going to discuss, you'll notice that a lot of attention is shifting away from IPDs now. People are thinking longer term over the next 3-4 months into the media, transfer spec and all that kind of thing. Okay, so Jan Oblak, as we said when we picked him up, we weren't expecting a clean sheet against Barcelona. By all accounts, from what I hear of the match, he played out his skin, and it was just Barcelona turned it on and killed the match, you know, when it went down to 10 men. And I think Simeone gets sent to the stands as well. So we weren't really hoping for much out of that. But because it was against Barcelona, his price hasn't really changed off the back of that game and result, because nobody was picking him up in anticipation of that match, potentially getting some divs. Rafael Guerrero never made an appearance. He's not down as injured. He wasn't in the matchday squad, so a wee bit of a question mark over him. Koulibaly, I forget, Napoli was the late kick-off on the Sunday. I actually forgot to check his in-play score, how he did. Andy Robertson did what we expect him to do, you know, in terms of his scoring. He didn't contribute anything to Liverpool in terms of assists or goals or anything like that on the Friday night. And it was, you know, by the time we picked him up anyway, we were never going to be capturing anything on the match day. By the time we bought him, Liverpool's game, the result was in the bag, and, you know, we weren't missing out on anything in that sense. But since then, his price hasn't really moved away too much. And with the Champions League tonight, if he does anything nice, it's another match we've got him eligible for. His price could be moving. Okay, same goes for Gini Wijnaldum. And then we move on to Marco. So the midfield guys, Gini Wijnaldum, okay, we'll move on from him. The rest of the midfield guys, Asensio, Di Maria and Coutinho, okay, we had really specific kind of strategies about these people. With Asensio, like I said to you, I know he played really well under Zidane last year, and I expected that to happen again. He started the match, and Real Madrid, I forget the score, I think it was 2-0. He got an assist, which was good, and he played the full 90 minutes, which is exactly what you want to see from anyone you're going to hold with us. Now, Di Maria, I showed you his form, and he did have a bit of an injury worry with not going to the Argentina squad. Normally when you read that, guys, me personally, you kind of take it with a pinch of salt. Sometimes these South American players don't fancy travelling halfway over the world to play Venezuela and, you know, whoever else in a qualifying match or a friendly or whatever. So quite a lot of the time they get these mysterious injuries and they don't turn up for international. So I didn't really read anything into that, but he didn't feature at all for Paris. He wasn't on the bench, he wasn't in the starting 11. And it was a really weakened side. You know, Choupo-Moting started up front. There was no, I think if I'm right in saying, I think Mbappe started on the bench. There was no Neymar, no Cavani. You know, it was like Cuckoo and Choupo-Moting and Paredes and Verratti, and you know, it was quite a like Dani Alves played right mid, which is a potentially another defender you may want to think about with that kind of scenario. So, you know, he didn't really do what we were after. Coutinho played for Barcelona, did pretty well by all accounts from what I hear. He played a good portion of the match. He gets subbed off right before the goals came in, so no opportunity for him to assist or really score high on the match day. But part of the thing with Coutinho is his media presence, and since we've picked him up, he's been right in amongst the media. He's not won it because there's not been a treble media days, it's been single media days. Had there been a treble, we'd definitely picked something up with him by now. And depending on the Champions League goals, you know, that's a nice little indicator ahead that if he plays any sort of key role, he's got a good chance of winning media when Barcelona play, especially in the Champions League. Luka Jovic, 99th minute winner for him. He scored a goal, which was good for us. Didn't win best forward or anything, unfortunately. Moise Kean came off the bench, got a winning goal as well, which was great. And then Giroud didn't start the match, he came off the bench. Okay, now with Giroud, Chelsea have 3 fixtures. You know, they played Monday night, they're playing Thursday, and then I think they're playing Liverpool on the Sunday. So with Giroud not featuring last night, it's not really the end of the world. As long as if he starts against Prague, I'll be really happy, because that's a game where you really expect him to do some damage and cause some goals, okay? So that's how we're sitting after match day 1, guys. Some positives, some negatives. The main negative being that we bought them on the wrong day. We put ourselves kind of, I say, behind the 8 ball in that respect. But we're really confident we've not made any substitutions, and the way the next 30 days pan out, nothing's really changed with these players. With Di Maria, he's somebody who I'm watching out for to maybe be substituted out if he doesn't play the next game for Paris, and that's something we'll definitely need to consider, okay, guys? Thanks a lot for tuning into the video, guys. Stay out of trouble. I hope the Champions League tonight is really good for your portfolio, whatever you're after, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.